This looks like a job for Superman.
Hey everybody, Reds the Collector here with another Superman action figure review. Today we're looking at the designer series, Jae Lee Superman, that just recently came out a couple of weeks ago. I finally got my hands on it today, and I wanted to do a quick review before I found a spot for it in the collection. Now what you're seeing here is the side of the box. Now DC has gone ahead and changed their boxes again from the ones that we first saw the New 52 figures in to these new ones, and this may just be the designer series, possibly, because the first designer series, the one that had Talon and Nightwing, Batman, and Riddler in it, it was the first ones to be in this box style. So I'm not sure if this is going to be all DC figures from now on, or if it's just the designer series that's going to come in this box. Now, of course, we're seeing the front of the box here, DC Comics, Designer Series, the artist name. Of course, we have the DC Collectibles logo. This is the third figure. Of course, it says Superman on it. It's got the Superman blue flap. Over on the side of the box, we've got a very, very nice illustration of Superman. Again, DC Comics, Designer Series, the artist name. And this is going to be taken from the Batman Superman comic. Now, on the back, you can see, let me see if I can get a little better bit of focus here. You can see the four figures in this designer series wave is, of course, Batman, because there's only 8 billion Batmans that have come out since the New 52 for figures. They, of course, needed yet another one. The Wonder Woman, which is a very cool figure. I really dig on that, and I may end up purchasing that. That does, of course, look like the Earth 2 Wonder Woman. In her style, with the high armor guards on the legs, the armor guard on one arm, and the heavily armed. So I'm believing that's going to be the Earth 2. And then, of course, we have the one we're looking at today, the Superman and Catwoman, again, because they didn't have enough Catwoman figures out there. These were all sculpted by Jonathan Matthews. On this side, you can just see that it's the opening of the box with the Superman name on it. On the top of the box, again, it says the Designer Series Collection and Batman, Superman, and again, the artist's name. So, of course, I've already got him out of the box, so let's just go ahead and take a look at the figure. Now, this figure, when everybody first saw it, really went crazy over it because it's such a stylized version of the characters, and definitely a very stylized version of Superman. It wouldn't be one of my reviews if something didn't fall down. All right, let's try that again, and let's try to refocus again. What do we got? What do we got? A little bit better. So this is the actual figure itself. Now, I really, really love how they did this figure, the paint scheme on this figure, because they did it like it could just walk straight off of the comic page. It has those comic shadowing around the muscle groups, like darkening of pencil marks. Again, in the face, we've got red lines. We've got just a very, very comic book feel to this figure. And I don't know if anybody else has seen these on eBay. I know a few people. There's a guy out there that takes 1/4 scale Superman statues, and I think they're basically custom statues, and then he gives them paint jobs that basically look like you just reached into the comic book and pulled Superman out of it. This isn't something that's really been attempted much, as far as I know, to get that real comic book feel to him. I mean, you can have somebody who gets the artist's forms right, but in sculpting methods, but aren't able to capture that looking like it's coming off of a page look, and they really did that well on this figure. As you can see, the darkening here under the pecs, we can see it around the ab muscles. In each one of the wrinkles on the suit, you can see that there is a darkening on the boots, of course, and the face. Now, this Superman, I seem to be having focusing issues. This Superman is very, very Asian looking in appearance. You can see that in the eyes, the really high cheekbones. So very, very Asian influenced here. Sorry about that, guys. And that is in no way a bad thing. It's always cool to get a new perspective and new looks on the Man of Steel, and I really can't seem to get my light right. Sorry about this, guys. I know it keeps going light and dark on you. I'm trying to get the best look possible at this thing. He really did the armor lines well. Instead of the diamond S shape being recessed here, it is embossed on the arm, so it's standing out. Very cool. One of the best things about this is the cape. This is very stylized, very cool. All the wrinkles and the way that the cape is kind of just crumpled together. You can definitely see this happening in a windstorm where it hasn't caught the entire thing, just a little bit of it, and it's kind of dragged it all together and then starts blowing it off to the side. I love the, again, shadows that come into play at the top of the cape here, and just bring everything out. The whole figure basically just pops. Like I said, it looks like it popped straight off of a comic book page, and that's due to all the painting that went into this. The figure just definitely pops out at you when you're looking at it. Again, the S symbol. It is, of course, raised off the chest. It's got those groove lines in the S, and those are highlighted with those darkening shadows. So again, it pops off. The tops of the cape here, where it's, moving away from the uniform, those pop out. Everything on this figure really stands out, and it also looks like you could lay it flat and it would be immediately perfect in a comic book because of all of those lines. And I know I keep harping on that here, guys, and I apologize, but it is just amazing to see how well this was done. So let's go ahead and go over articulation. The head, that's about as down as you're going to get. So not a whole lot of head movement down. We can get a little bit up, but not a lot. You can get the inquisitive look, so we can do some side-to-side action, but again, not to an overly dramatic scale. So we don't have a whole lot of head movement. We can, of course, get some rotating this way. It is, if you can hear that, the head is really tight on there. That may just be mine, or it may be something that's in the production itself. But definitely a tight head on this figure. Next in articulation, we've got the arms, and those again are very tight, and they've got a click feel to them, so when you're moving up you kind of feel that click. It is, of course, on a ball joint, so it is rotating. Now, I want to be careful with this because DC, of course, is known for their joints breaking, and anybody who knows me knows that it happens to me quite a bit. So I'm trying to be a little bit more careful with this than I normally am. So we can see we have the ball jointed arm, we have the elbow here. We really don't have any bicep swivel in any way, but we do have a wrist rotation. Of course, the other arm is going to match that. No waist movement to speak of, but we really do have some nice T-jointed legs here. Of course, you can see that they go out to the side, and they, of course, go back and forth, and they've got really nice movement back and forth and out to the side. We've also got a cut here in the thigh, so we get some rotating there. It is a single joint knee, so no double jointed there, but don't really need it on this guy because you can get such great articulation with what is provided, and then there is no ankle articulation whatsoever. So he does stand really well. For a lot of you guys who just like to do the museum pose, you're going to get a very nice stance out of him, but he offers a lot more posability than many other DC Collectibles figures. Just the sheer fact that we can do something a little different with his legs to really get some dynamic movement looking for that you might be looking for in your collection. So especially with these, got those awesome heat vision eyes. So again, we've got that rotation there, but we can get this out, and here, we can kind of get everything going, get some really nice articulation out of him. And this is just a quick generic pose, but as you can see, that is some really nice articulation, really nice poses that can come out of this. So overall, guys, this is definitely a figure that you want to have in your collection. And I actually just got a really good price on him. I only paid like 17 bucks on Amazon right now. So jump onto Amazon and take a look for this guy, or head down to your local comic book shop if you got one nearby to you. But however you do it, you need to get this guy in your collection. He is an amazing Superman to be held and have in your collection. Also, one of the best, if not the best, New 52 figure for Superman. Now, the original New 52 Superman figure by DC Collectibles is an amazing static piece. His articulation basically is nil. I mean, he does have knee, he does have elbows, but there's no real good way to pose him outside of your standard stance pose. So basically, I mean, I would say that these are basically tied. It has that more, the original has the more static museum statue pose, whereas this one is a beautiful rendition of the costume, but you also get the amazing posability out of it. So a really awesome figure to pick up, guys. If you can get your hands on it, definitely do that. If you want to keep it in package, I mean, that's up to you, but I'm living by the thing right now of you gotta let them breathe. So I do have been removing most of my stuff out of package. Basically all the new stuff I'm getting, I'm taking directly out of package, but there are some older things that I keep mint on card. But this is definitely one you're going to want to have out of package. You're going to want to let this guy breathe, and you're going to want to pose him very cool in your collection. And you can definitely do that with this figure. Alright guys, that is it for this video. I of course want to thank you for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. And as always, have a very nice day.